now knowing that was 3 minutes of difference, I I would have done it. He wanted it more than I wanted it. Like, he peed himself twice. I think that you're not a real racer till you have peed yourself or something.
I truly didn't care. I would have pooped myself too if I had to.
All right, and welcome back to The Price for Paradise. My name's Woody, aka Creston Woods, and with me today we have a special race recap episode with my man Raymond Cole Bernstein back again for round 2, not too many months after we just had him on, and I am so excited to talk epic race story. Thanks for coming back, brother.
Yep, good to be here.
So we're gonna go over a little bit of everything. So we went. It was a whole journey since the last time he was on here. We had our peak weeks going up into the race and our taper off. And so let's start there. Prior to the race, going up into it, how did you feel? And what was going on in your head when it comes to like the last few weeks going before race? How'd your peak week look?
Peak week was a couple 100-mile rides, a couple long runs, anything over like 11 miles, pretty long swim, and then half of that basically for speed.
And how were you eating that week? And how hard was that to get all of it in? And like time currency wise?
Eating like a toddler, basically.
Yeah, like so much sugar and so much
gosh.
Candy. Like when you're trying to do a 100-mile ride.
If you saw me, yeah. No, that's pretty much true, though. I did eat like that, but trying to eat healthy when you're not training, because that's where your nutrition and your recovery comes from. So
yeah, like when you're eating like lunch and dinner, but like when you're eating like around like the bike rides and stuff, like the quick digesting sugars actually work really well, guys, when it comes to performance and stuff like that. Like Gatorades are fine, and the amount of sugar is good for you if you're, doing 100 miles, like if you're using it properly. So that was your peak week, kind of like what it looked like. And then how did it feel like confidence wise and like different stuff going into taper?
I was just ready for the race to be there right
You're
after
finally
peak week.
like,
well, the second peak week, I was like, I don't want to do this again. I just rather do this during a race, but it helped, obviously. Here we are when we finished. So.
Yes, we made it to the end, right?
We did, yep.
And then, and then what did taper look like for you?
Taper, well, I had a couple shifts in between, so there was
forced taper,
which was really nice, but it made me feel like it still wasn't doing enough because I'm like not doing anything.
Yeah, after doing the peak weeks, I felt so like I was going, and then all of a sudden you cut to like 45% of what you were doing, or like 50% of that, and it just felt so easy.
Yeah,
I felt like I was losing. I felt like I was losing cardio, even though I know I was probably gaining it the whole time.
Doesn't make a difference. Yeah. But taper week, like you said, like 45% of it, so maybe like a 60 or 50-mile ride, I think was the longest one I had that week, and then a 25-mile ride and a short run after, and a short swim, and then a day off or two in between on top of work, so it wasn't too bad.
And then did you carb load? Like, were you specifically like going super hard on the carbs going into race day? Because like I know. I was like
bloated for like the last 4 days until we started the race.
And as much as it hurts, like if you want to look good and do all this stuff, like the carb loading matters, guys. And it's like super important on this kind of race. There was no carb that went unused. That's for sure. I felt, even though on the race, we even ingested insane amounts. And we'll probably get to that in a minute, but all right, so flying into Canada, first time in Canada?
Second time.
Second time in Canada for you? Yeah. First time for me. What are your thoughts of Canada and Ottawa?
It was awesome. I'd love to go back and just like be a tourist there.
Yeah, like that was
we didn't really get the opportunity.
Yeah, we didn't have too much time afterwards, but it was like, gorgeous city and like green. I mean, I expect the winter times to be much worse, but the summertime was awesome. And so
when it wasn't raining,
when it wasn't raining, we had a little bit of weather to deal with on our race, but overall, like Ironman Village, getting prepped, we got lucky when it came to the logistics of everything. We walked in to the front of like every line, and then we would come out and we would see that every
wrapped around the corner.
Yeah, wrapped around the corner, and like we'd be 45 minutes to an hour later if we would have waited 10 minutes to get in line. So happy to be early. Shout out to Larry for getting us there early everywhere we went. We were like probably first on the shuttle buses when it
We were
came
on the
to
very
like
first shuttle bus too on the way there the morning of. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, and we made sure that we were, on top of everything. Although it was kind of an interesting setup. Our transitions, we had to set them up the day before, and there were in different places.
Yeah.
And so we would have to drive across Ottawa, set up our bikes, and then drive back to downtown to set up our run bags. And that logistic was kind of a little bit of a nightmare at first.
They made up for it though. Getting all of our stuff after the race was super easy.
Yeah, definitely.
All in one spot.
Definitely all brought it back to the middle afterwards. And that was, definitely glad we did not have to go back to the beach after. But all right. So going into race morning, we had pizza for our pre-race meal the night before. At this cool pizza parlor. What was it, like Mill Bar?
Mill Street Pub?
Mill Street Pub, yeah.
I think.
And I think pizza's a solid,
Oh, yeah, it's my go-to.
Pre-race meal. I was glad they had dairy-free cheese. That made the whole experience 10 times better for me. And definitely don't want to, mess with any variables going the night before a race.
It's a bad time to test something new.
And we did a strategy the night before. We made egg sandwiches, bagel egg sandwiches, and that was the best pre-race meal I've ever had before a race. Usually I'm just having some honey and toast and just winging it. And but I knew I needed to eat a lot more for this one.
Yeah.
And so I think we did a good job setting that up the race morning before. How did you sleep the night before?
About as expected. Waking up a lot of times thinking about the race. Kind of hard to go back to sleep, but it's not really going to make a difference at that point. You're going to get through it either way, I'm sure everybody's feeling the same way.
Yeah, for sure. Like I definitely, it wasn't like my deepest of sleeps. I didn't want to miss any alarms. I wanted to make sure I had time to like gather everything. Don't forget anything for this race. Like, when it came to tubes and tires and different things that we had to get the day before the race and the
day
snacks.
Before.
Because honestly, and I'm so glad you had extra gels and snacks that you didn't use. And he was like, oh yeah, you can have a couple of the honey gels or whatever. I used everything. So like everything that I put into my pack, I used throughout the race. So I'm so glad whatever extra I added, because that was used on the bike for sure. And so what did you have for nutrition strategy? What were your gels and how did that look for going into the race?
I had Uncrustables, I had gels, I had the Morton gels, I had honey gels. And then whatever they had at the aid stations, I'd use on top of what I had, just so I didn't have to burn a whole lot more of my stuff to make it last a little bit longer. But yeah.
Yeah, I did a lot of the Morton gels, and I kind of regret doing that because they had them on the race. And I feel like it would have been nice to have done less of my own version of that first. and then when we got to the marathon, I did like 30 gels of the Mortons. And so that was very painful to put down the throat for the 100th time gels during the race.
Can't even think about having that.
But all right, let's go down piece by piece. So the swim. Me and Cole, we lined ourselves up in the hour 30 to hour 40 range, and I think kind of nailed it on the estimated times.
Yeah.
I mean, you came in a little bit faster than me. What?
Hour 25, I think.
Hour 25.
Before, yeah.
And then I came in hour 34 or hour 35, and so we were like 10 minutes apart there. And then coming out of the water, how did you feel like during the swim?
I felt good during the swim. Towards the end, I was starting to get ready. I was ready to get out. And I kept like looking up, like when you're spotting to see who's in front of you or where you're at. Like kept seeing the shore, and I'm like, okay.
And then you look up again,
and it's still just as far away.
Yeah, it's not
like
even
5
closer.
minutes later, like looking at my watch, like I have to be close though. But it was good. I was proud of myself with that because obviously swimming's not our strong suit, so I was excited to get that done. And
glad they let us have the wetsuit.
Oh yeah,
because they had it was a wetsuit optional race after because it was warm enough to where they didn't like. If you were gonna try to qualify for Kona, which we weren't, not us, then you would have to do it without the wetsuit at this temperature. But since it was wetsuit optional, and like they said, you're still an Ironman. Well, we're gonna wear the wetsuits because like that buoyancy factor made it 10 times easier, way better for us. When swimming's our weakest of the sports. But yeah, that was the best swim I ever did too. Like I think that it was maybe the adrenaline of first Ironman, and like, I don't know, that course was in a river and it had a little bit of current, but I don't think the current made any difference at all. And
not
so,
enough to make a difference, I don't think.
Yeah, not enough to really do anything to us. And I mean, unless it made it easier, because that was one of my better
maybe
swims.
That's why we did so
yeah,
good.
maybe that's why we nailed the swim. But it was not a current that you had to fight, which is good. And so coming out, you had we had cool transition. You could, they had all these gear bags lined up for us, and they'd hand you yours, and then you'd run into this giant tent full of male, female, and you'd have a chance to change in your dry socks and stuff. So what did you have on your gear bag in the bike?
Well, I know for next time what I need to do is have a bike tire bag that fits on my bike, because I had to wrap it around the front and kind of just keep pushing it back in, hoping it stays in between the handlebars.
Oh.
And then I had to carry my spare tire in my tri-suit and like bulging out of my side the whole way, because I knew if I didn't have my bag, that's when I would get a flat.
Yeah, of course. Like, you would not bring the spare tire the one time, and then karma would get you for sure.
But I had just a dry pair of socks, all of the stuff you need, helmet, glasses, whatever. And then got my bike slammed and Uncrustable in probably 10 seconds.
Yeah, we had fast
rolling.
transitions, right? Like we were both like 7 minutes out of the first transition, like super, super quick.
In the rain, you're all mushy in your bike shoes with your clips.
Oh yeah, guys, it was raining the entire swim, and like the entire day. I think a lot of the bike we got lucky
until towards the end,
because like the middle of the bike it was dry, and so it gave you like time to be in the open air and not be too cold from the rain and the wind. But it did start raining again towards the marathon, right before you got off that bike.
Yeah, and then didn't stop until we finished, basically.
Yeah, and so tell me about your bike ride. What did that look like for you? Cole got out immediately ahead of me because he was already 10 minutes ahead on there, and then he continued to gain even more lead on me.
I felt really good on the bike. I was trying my best not to let like people passing me or me passing people like get my adrenaline, like, oh, I need to either catch him. And
my gosh.
keep trying to remind myself, like, this is my race. This is my first Ironman. I still have a marathon after this. Like, I need to just pace myself.
It is so humbling on the bike because we're getting passed by these guys at like ridiculous speeds. Like I thought I was like, we're fit people. We out of all our friends, we're pretty fit. Like, no, dude. Like you go up to the Ironman, these dudes were doubling our speed.
I could not hold the pace with some of those guys to save my life if I wanted to.
It was insane.
I think like I averaged around like 17.5 miles an hour, and there's people flying past me.
Yeah.
Flying past me.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
And they were on like lap 2 and 3 because this is like a 3-lap course, right? And so we came out from the beach, and then we never actually went back that way. We started there, but then once we got back into the city, we did like a bunch of loops around Ottawa and like downtown Ottawa and the architecture. Cool. And you get these like castle vibes and different lake views, and I think it was
people
like,
everywhere cheering you on the entire course.
Yeah, that's the cool part. It was like within the city, so there's always people at the course, and they're like, our family was very good at like finding little perch spots to yell at us and point and take little videos, which was a huge morale boost. Every time you saw your family or you saw some people read your name tag and yell your name, it was the boost you needed when you're hurting out there. Sure. So. How long to take you through the bike?
I think I finished in 6:30 something, maybe a little bit sooner. I don't remember the whole lot of it, but I felt pretty good on the bike, like I said, and trying to remember I still have a whole marathon after. So that's when things kind of started to take a turn a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. Cole beat me by another 20 minutes on this bike ride. And so we come out of transition in the run, and he is 30 minutes ahead of me. But I know I'm the stronger runner when it comes to marathon. At least that's like, I kind of expected to be down at this point. But I was hoping I could make up this 30 minutes, right? And so every time I booked it off the gate, and I felt terrible. Like I think for the first 20 miles on the bike and the first 6 miles on the run, like switching between sports and the brick is so hard, and like people like even if you practice it, that's like not the same as coming off 112, because my shins would be like so on fire until they like pounded the pavement for 6 miles.
And legs are numb.
And they were numb. But
Yeah.
I was like trying to hold the pace, and the only thing keeping me going was the fact that I could catch him. Because like I would have probably taken a lot more time at the aid stations, or like you kind of meandered through some of the runs.
Yeah.
But I knew I could like possibly catch you. Like if I shave off like a minute a mile or like 30 seconds a mile, like I had to really like not blow it out too much.
Mm-hmm.
But the run course was in complete rain. So yeah, right when we started that, like you put on your dry socks and then boom, they're wet again.
Mm-hmm.
And you're kind of like, that was kind of the worst part, I think, was how heavy your shoes felt.
I was like wearing aqua socks, like
Yeah.
with weights in them.
Yeah. And so like that didn't really bode well for pacing and like other, knees.
And the puddles were unavoidable. Like it got to a point where you just jump in it for a little bit more like stimulation and cold feeling.
Like it's
because it
kind of
felt
nice to
good.
feel
Yeah.
like the cold water
Yeah.
at that point. They were already so wet.
Mhm.
And at the aid stations, they had Coke and bone broth. I think the bone broth was the best
That was
thing
so
on the
good.
course.
Warmed me
Like,
up, too.
especially because you've been just downing gel after gel after gel. And then the bone broth nice and salty and warm and like feels like a little bit of proteiny.
Yeah.
So that was my favorite part of the whole
Yeah, that was pretty good.
aid station fiasco. And shout out to all the people who do aid stations. You guys are our heroes. And we could not do it without you. And I'm eternally grateful because they are awesome and they keep you going for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But over that marathon, like tell me about like how you were feeling going into the first half marathon and then the second half.
Well, same thing as you. I shot it pretty fast out the gate because I was so excited to be off the bike. And then I checked my watch and I'm like, God, I really don't feel good because my heart rate's in the 170s. I'm like,
You're just
okay,
thresholding the whole time. Yep.
So then slowed down a little bit. And then first 6 miles felt pretty good, even though I was going a little bit slow. And then after that's kind of where I'm like, okay, this is going to be a lot longer than I really thought it was going to be. So trying to figure out a game plan for that. But I didn't start walking until I think mile 17 was my first walk. At, like you said, the 13-mile loop where we turn around for the second half, that was probably the most mentally defeating moment because that was so...
you're like,
I'm
that's only halfway.
Yeah.
And I felt like I was out there for hours and you were.
Yeah. It wasn't like, okay, only one more lap. It's like, oh, I still have another lap. That was kind of my mindset, unfortunately. And then mile 17 is where I think we saw each other a couple times. And on my third time seeing Crescent, he told me the only thing keeping me going is that I'm going to try and catch you, like he was talking about.
Yeah.
And then that's where it really clicked in. I'm like, I can't take any more walks.
Yeah,
if
there's no more.
He's going to catch me.
Yeah.
So had to go to a pretty dark place to not walk anymore. Like I was telling these guys, I started peeing myself on mile 17 because it hurt so bad to start running again after the porta potty, and I didn't want to walk anymore or stop anymore so that Kristen could catch up to me.
I knew it. So like when I was out there, I would stop at the porta potties every time. Like there was no time I peed myself outside of like when I was in the water for the beginning. I like enjoyed, no shame, enjoyed my bathroom break. Needed that minute of just standing there for a second, letting my legs not move. But I. Now knowing that was 3 minutes of difference, I would have done it. Like I'm like now.
I was stopping.
He wanted it more than I
too,
wanted it. Like he peed himself twice in the last 6 miles of the race.
Part
so
of
that
it
he
was
could win.
not being able to make it to the next aid station because I was running so slow and had to pee so bad. And then there's just a bunch of factors that went into it. Not even caring anymore, just being so tired and.
Oh my gosh. That is awesome. I think that you're not a real racer till you have peed yourself or
I
something.
truly didn't care. I would have pooped myself too if I had to. Then the last mile was all uphill.
Yeah, like
That
they
was-
always do that.
that was
shit.
ridiculous.
Like, why do they do
Yeah.
that all the time? You knew it though, because like you came in on the run on the downhill, and you're like, "This sucks
Yeah.
down," but I have to come back up this at the
Yeah.
end.
Yep.
And you knew it was a 2-lap thing.
Yep. You forget about it until it's the last mile.
Yeah.
But then get through that, and then you start hearing the guy announce people's names and saying, "You are an Ironman."
and you start sprinting,
And you forget that the whole race even happened, or that whole marathon even happened. It was like, he's going to say my name here in a second. It's going to be the best state, like the coolest thing in my life right here.
ever since we started the bottom of the hill, I just kept repeating it in my head because it was like, I have to run up this hill. Like
Yeah.
there's no, like at the very end of this race, like you're not going to, you never do your first Ironman twice. You do it once.
Yeah,
So this is
exactly.
like, we have to run it out.
Yep. And then there's some volunteer kind of close to the end saying you just have a little bit over a 1K left. And I was joking with him too, saying, well, I know a 5K is 3 miles. I have no idea how much
He's
1K
like trying to do
is.
the math at the last K of the race.
I just kept hearing it get louder. I'm like, okay, I should be getting close. But then you run through that little tunnel before you get to the stage of all the people on the side of the gate rails, and then fired you up. And then you see the whole stage lit up and everybody piled in on both sides, start crying a little bit. And then there's a bell there for people who it's their first time. You ran right past it.
Yeah, I didn't even see it. Yeah, no, just no clue. I
think
no
somebody broke it,
situational
though.
awareness. Yeah, so
Somebody broke it. So I went up and I went to go shake it to ring it, and then nothing happened. And I'm like,
there's
well,
no bell.
I'm just going to go because I can't turn around and do this again. I look like an idiot. But yeah, ran in, cried a little bit, had a couple pieces of pizza and a Sprite, cried some more.
Yeah.
And then that's when the body started deteriorating even more, and then we had to go get all of our stuff.
Yeah, no, that was the hardest part is like, yeah, you'd finish and, I didn't even see the bell, hit the red carpet, but like I was just stoked on adrenaline and like this like last, like I finally can stop moving.
Yeah.
And I honestly, it hurt way worse to stop moving afterwards, but you're taking your pictures and then you're like just the most accomplished feeling of like a workout I've ever had. That was like, you did it. Like you became, they said your name, like it is real. You are an Ironman.
Yeah. Best feeling ever. That was pretty sweet.
And it's like kind of amazing, like to think like, oh, you could do that. Like that's in your mind before doing all the training and all the things, like putting those numbers of times together. You're like, oh, well, I have an hour and a half in the water. I have 7 hours on a bike, and I have a 5-hour run.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I did not know that my body was physically like able to handle that, or like that. And people do it all the time.
Yeah,
there's like thousands of people there doing it.
That was
like
my thought. Like the last half of the run, when I was starting to get really irritated with myself, it was like people do this for sport. Like people do this competitively, and
we lost by 5 hours to the winner.
Yeah,
this guy,
he started his run before we got off the bike.
Yeah, that's insane.
Ridiculous.
And so we're hours and hours behind like these people, and I'm like, the human body is so amazing that it can even do that. And like sometimes we forget that like the possibilities, not to mention like some of the bodies you'd see out there, you'd be like, not expect that person to be midway through their Ironman. But yeah, looks are deceiving, guys. It does not matter what you look like. I got crushed by
most of the
some
people
like 80-year-old women, and so it was impressive. And there was like right at the beginning, there was someone that was like 80 years old.
Yeah, in our swim line.
Yeah, for their 8th Ironman.
Yeah,
and then I was like, okay, we got to make it today.
Yeah.
But like,
if you would have asked me during the race if I ever want to do this ever again, I'd say no. But now that the week's almost over, I'd say yes, 100%.
Yeah. So what is like on the docket for you going forward? Like, what do you like? Are you gonna sit with this one for a minute and enjoy it? Because like, that was the longest build process I think I've ever done.
Oh yeah, that was a long 7 months, and then before it was I pretty much count it as a year.
Yeah, because it was like
slowly
from
building up.
each triathlon.
Yeah.
Me and Cole did a Mountain Man triathlon earlier in the year. Was that no?
Last
that
August.
Was last August.
Ago,
yeah, about a year ago.
Yeah.
And then you caught the bug. You went and did your half Ironman.
Half Ironman, and then the marathon, and then this.
Yeah, I was in the ultra marathon space for a minute, and I was just doing like lots of running. And then I was like, Cole was like, "Oh, let's go do Canada." And now we're here. And we did it.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna sit with this and enjoy this for a while, because I haven't really sat with any of those wins before. Just go like, what's the next one? What's the next one? So be proud of myself a little bit, proud of us. Sit, relax, and enjoy it, and then I don't know. We'll see.
Would you do another one?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then I'll remember how much I didn't want to do another one towards the end of it, but I'd definitely do another one. Maybe somewhere a little bit closer.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or somewhere even further. Europe.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, but
Need some money for that.
yeah, that's true. That's true. Ironman is not a cheap sport, guys.
No,
As
it's
much
not.
as the guys that look like that we raced have just boatloads of money. Their
Mhm.
bikes were like $15,000 bikes, and then it was insane kind of to see some of the. It was really cool gear,
Yeah.
but all super customized out. There was
Yeah.
not very many bikes that I saw that were the same kind. Like that
Mm-mm.
was like they were all so cool.
Like,
And,
some of them sound like spaceships going by you. Like, that's not a bike.
That's not a bike. That thing, and they pick it up with their pinky. It's like so light.
Yeah,
it's
crazy.
it's unbelievable. But yeah, like the extra meal a day you have to eat, like all of the extra training gels and goos, and setting aside hours of time, 20 hours a week, just for training. That's a side job.
Yeah, it is definitely.
And so, how did your legs feel day after the race?
Not very good. I could barely even get home. We had stairs in our Airbnb, of course. So
Yeah, definitely don't do that. Next
yeah,
time,
that's a bad
right?
idea. So if anybody ever does one, make sure you get a single story. But literally crawled up the stairs. Like if you saw the way I was moving, Creston saw it. Like you would have thought I was exaggerating, or like I just wanted the attention. But
No.
I physically couldn't give any more than what I had that night, and the whole next day was.
You're using your arms as like,
Yeah.
to take off the weight of your legs as you take each step.
Yeah. And then because of the rain all day and your socks are soaked, like my feet were torn to shreds and blisters everywhere. So
Yeah.
they just should have had monkey bars in there, dude. Made it a whole lot easier. You
Oh,
don't
man.
use your arms at all during the race. So
The chafe marks were, I've never had anything like it on my butt. So there was like, I did not want to sit down for a couple of
Yeah.
days, but
the kitchen chair hurt to sit on. You like just stay on a couch or in bed.
yeah, I don't think the rain helped that much
Mm.
either. And so those tri-suits, they're all made of like plastic and
Yeah.
but and then now we're, I don't know, what is this, Friday? What 5 days out?
Mhm.
And so how do you feel progressively over the 5 days?
Today is the first day I felt like I could probably go do something if I wanted to, but probably not going to do it for a little bit.
Yeah.
I was looking online, like recovery time and when you should start or wanting to start doing stuff again. It said at least like a month.
Wow.
So, yeah.
I mean, I don't know if I'm going to wait that long.
No, you can't.
But yeah, no, that's not going to happen. But I do think it is a multi-week process,
Mhm.
like for your body to recover from this big of an event
Yeah.
and like that much pounding on the pavement on
Mhm.
top. Like a marathon itself is a lot to come back from, but then your bike, your knees going in that same circulation of the bike is also adds to the effect. And
Mhm.
then I think you could probably start swimming
Oh, yeah.
the
Swim's
day
recovery.
after. Swim
Yeah.
is recovery, right? And
It's like a month till like moderate progression of longer stuff. You can do like short.
as much as I like don't like swimming, I think I'm gonna keep a lot of swimming in the routine because I feel like that is the most healing of all of the other ones. If I ever don't want to run or bike, well, I can just put myself through a little hell during the swim and feel better afterwards.
Yeah. Not be exhausted.
Yeah, and it's nice to be better at swimming. It's
Yeah.
When you build up for like now a half swim, that would
Oh,
be
gosh.
so easy.
Yeah.
Like I am so like blown away by how much that does not sound scary anymore.
Yeah. That was
where
pretty mind blowing.
you did an hour and a half in the water, so you're
Yeah.
like, oh, 45-minute swim, 35-minute swim. If it's like I feel
Mhm.
good, I could probably crush the half Ironman now.
Yeah. That was the most mind blowing part. Like we were talking about, like, that's just a new, like, that's easy to us now. When before that was so hard for something that's so not normal for those kinds of hours and miles. Like, oh, that's easy. It's
So what do
weird.
you think were the things that you could improve on the most throughout the whole thing?
I mean, always a swim. That's always going to be my answer. But now having done the full, just knowing like the bike bag stuff, just like a bunch of little things, I think would be my biggest.
The logistics of
The
going into like
logistics.
the bigger one, because yeah, we didn't even use our mid race bags. I might have used one
Yeah.
now, knowing how much fuel I needed on the bike
Yeah.
versus
Definitely.
instead of we were just like, oh yeah, we're gonna carry so much of it that we
Yeah.
don't even need it, and we totally would have needed
totally did.
some extra.
I know I saw people stopping for theirs on the race. I'm like, Okay, now I understand why they have those, but yeah, probably just the logistics. Yeah, I don't know. What about you?
I do want to do more speed work on the bike. I feel
Mhm.
like I could go faster on the bike, but because I didn't even push my heart rate that hard. I mean, my legs were feeling it, but I couldn't like. I feel like I could do faster on the bike, and
Mhm.
so that would be a big one. And then doing more brick workouts,
Yeah,
longer bricks, where
just
I'm
hard
doing
with the weather
like,
here right now.
yeah, it is, but it is like really good to test yourself because I felt like I was good from the first maybe 16 miles. And then those last 10 miles, my pace slowed down dramatically.
Mhm.
And I would have been, it would have been nice to have a little bit stronger finish on the marathon. But that's like, how do you pre fatigue your legs
Yeah,
and then go for a long run? Like, it's hard to practice that.
I think that's probably everybody though, unless you're the professionals.
Yeah, no, I'm just
So
happy I didn't like walk very much on the marathon. I had to like, like I said, catching him was the only thing keeping me going. And I'm so glad we raced together because I feel like I would have probably gone 14 hours, 14 and a half hours by myself.
Mhm.
But having you there and like that
Oh yeah,
in my
I
head
would have walked
just
a hell of a
helped
lot more.
a ton.
I would have walked so much more if I knew you weren't coming.
Yeah.
But
So
Word.
it is like, yeah, guys, if you ever want to do one, it's easier to go farther as a team than it is to try to do it alone. And like, again, it took so many people to, practice with. Like, I know you and your dad rode a ton.
Mhm.
And I had, shout out to Austin and all of like my friends in High Rocks Club and all the people that did all of the workouts with me along the way, because I feel like those help so much
Oh, yeah.
to have people and to, not just do it by yourself.
Yeah.
When it came to those many hours, you have to do some like lots of hours by yourself.
Yeah.
But it is like monotonous to do 24/7 all of the rides by you, right?
Mhm. The family and friends are what make you an Ironman, not the race itself, because it's not as much as it is a one man thing. It's not a one man thing. So
100%.
Yeah.
And shout out to Phyllis. We got to go to her lake house afterwards, and
That was
she
a nice
had
spa day.
like Phyllis had this bike that she got Larry, way back when, and he got it for me for my first Ironman in Tempe, and then this Ironman we got it all fixed up, and I rode it on the Ironman, and then we ended up going to her lake house afterwards, and I was like, Phyllis, you're the reason I am an Ironman. Like, this is so, like, it's so cool to have that like whole full circle moment, especially like when your dad got that bike for me. That was like the reason I became an Ironman the first time, half Ironman, and now we're a real Ironman.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, it was. I wouldn't have done any of it without this really nice gift of a bike that she probably just was like, oh yeah, I'm not using that, like, and then all of a sudden it made my whole world, because now I'm officially an Ironman because of that bike. So I think that was one of the coolest full circle moments.
Yeah.
And her lake house was paradise. I've never seen
That was a
like,
nice spa day. Nice
Yeah.
relaxing day for that whole week.
private lake to yourself, pontoon boat, fishing, and swinging on the ropes, and probably one of the best ways you could have capped off a trip.
Absolutely.
So what would you do? Like what do you recommend to anybody getting into Ironman? Like how to prep going in?
Nutrition. I'd say nutrition is the biggest thing, because it's a mental thing at most, right? Like, you're gonna get to a point where you feel like you can't go any longer, or you don't want to, but your mental is gonna get you through that. But you can't do that with your mental if you don't have your nutrition set up. So every 30 minutes, your carbs, your electrolytes, your salts, just whatever you need to. It is really important to keep track of it, because if you get behind, you're not going to be able to catch up.
Yeah, no, 100%. It is like you can't David Goggins mindset through zero gas in the tank.
No.
Like your muscles will start to eat themselves. You will cramp up and you will fall over. I've done it before, guys. I promise you, you can't. And it's not just the carbs, but it is the salt too. Like, people underestimate how much salt is so good for you and super important as an electrolyte. And your nerves would not fire without it, and your body would cramp up, and you would feel absolutely horrible if you ran out of salt.
Mm-hmm.
And people, they get this stigma like, oh, high blood pressure, or like we have too much salt and stuff, and they get this negative view of salt. Salt is the most important thing on these races.
Oh yeah.
And if you aren't salting enough, you will fall over, cramp up. And then the carbs. I mean, how many carbs did you eat on the race?
Oh my gosh, if I even thought about that since, but if I had to guess, probably over 1,000.
Yeah, well, yeah,
grams of carbs throughout the whole race.
Dude, it had to be.
Maybe even on the run, I had almost over 1,000.
I did 15 scoops of sugar water into my Camelback, and I finished it halfway through the bike.
Yeah.
So that was at least 100 calories per, so 1,500 calories of carbs.
Yeah.
Just in my Camelback. Then you had the 20, 30 gels on the bike alone.
The aid station bananas.
And then, the granola bars, chips. And then I was drinking Coke the whole run.
And the
I was grabbing
broth.
the Coke and the broth, and we had just, honestly, 7,000, 8,000 calories worth of
5
carbs.
Uncrustables. That's a lot. I think that's 400 grams of carbs right there.
And then for every mile on the run, so I would put the goos in my pocket, and then I would run half a mile, and I would be like, all right, it's time. And I would pull out another goo. So I'd eat one at the aid station, one in between aid stations, and there was one every mile.
Yeah.
So that's at 40 gels at least that you're just ingesting. And so the amount of food you eat is insane, but it is super important.
Yeah. That, and I guess one more tip would be chamois butter.
Oh man, chamois butter is king.
the what was the other one we had?
The squirrel's nut butter. Yeah, that's good stuff. That was the anti-chafe butter saves you a ton. I mean, I know I'm saying the chafing was the worst ever, but I'm sure it would be.
You only got to apply it once.
I only got to apply it at the beginning.
Yeah.
And then got wet.
Yeah.
The entire time. But I would say it is still 10 times better than it would have been without that chafe butter.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
made for a long day, for an already long day.
Because your body hurts from just sitting that long on your your bones and but the skin stuff, it takes forever to heal.
Yeah.
It's very annoying, and it lingers days after the race.
Oh yeah.
Still lingering. But nice. And any tips about the training portion of it?
Just gotta do it.
It's miles. It's volume.
Miles. You have to. Whether it's hours or miles, you have to get it done, because it gets to a point where you don't want to anymore. Like we talked about, the peak weeks. Oh, I have another one of these. I have another 17-hour peak week. You just have to, or you're not gonna finish.
But I think a lot of people think that you have to push hard in every workout, and it's it's not that at all. I think 80% of the workouts are just get the miles in.
Yeah.
And then the 20%, you should push some paces, or try to do your race pace,
interval stuff,
or intervals if you want to increase your speed and time. But it's really about timing the seat, top miles for marathons. If you don't run enough, you're gonna be hurt for days afterwards, not just
if you finish,
months afterwards.
Yeah,
if you finish. And so you think we nailed it? I
think so. I think we did a good job. I think it was crazy. The craziest part about the whole day to me is how far apart we were from each other, and then you caught up to me and we finished within 3 minutes of each other.
Yeah, man. That
was crazy.
That was pretty crazy.
For the 2,700 people there, we finished within 3 minutes of each other.
And we saw these guys at the start, and he's right before we got in the water, Cole goes, "See you at the finish line." And literally that was the next time we actually got to have a conversation. And it was, but it was just seconds after, a couple minutes right behind you.
Yeah.
And
it was purely a joke just to get some morale of the people around us and you, and it actually happened.
And it actually happened. And the people at home that were watching on the Ironman tracker, they were telling me our projected finishes kept going back and forth. And it was, I almost had you. If I would have peed myself, guys, then I would have been the with him. I wouldn't have passed him if I would have caught him.
You saved your shoes though, because I need to get new pair of running shoes now.
That's fair. That's fair. No shame.
Yeah.
And you deserved it after peeing yourself, dude.
Thanks. I'd do it again too.
All right, guys. Well, more race stories to come, and I'm sure this won't be the last time you see this guy, but We'll catch you guys next week on The Price for Paradise. My name's Woody, and aloha.
Nailed it. Feel a lot more comfortable on that one.
Yeah, you definitely could talk way better on this one.
I forgot these were still on.
Yeah, I can turn it off first, buddy.